Hi, welcome to all to our CFIL Repeaters YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about charge of GST, Section 9 of the CGST Act and as well as Section 5 of the IGST Act 2017. Okay, let's go. And we are discussing mainly focusing on the Section 9 of the CGST Act, so that some of the minor changes are there in the Section 5, like wherever intrastate supplies is there, in that we are replaced with the interstate supplies, and the maximum rate of GST as per the CGST Act is 20%, whereas as per the IGST Act is 40%. And some of the changes wherever applicable I will be explaining in the last. So we can proceed now. Okay. And Section 9 of the CGST Act tells about the charge of GST. Section 9 subsection 1 says the normal levy. What it is saying is GST will be levied on intrastate supplies of goods or services or both, except for alcoholic liquor for human consumption, on value determined under section 50, and a maximum rate of 20% as may be notified by the government on the recommendation of the council. Okay, and collect in a manner prescribed, and collection of the GST in a manner prescribed in the rules and paid by the taxable person. Simply say that section 9 subsection 1 telling about the normal levy. Here it is saying that the GST will be levied on the intrastate supplies of goods and services or both, except alcoholic liquor for human consumption, on the value determined under section 15 and as at a maximum rate of 20% as may be prescribed by the and notified by the government on recommendation of the council, and collect in a manner prescribed and paid by the taxable person. Next, section 9 subsection 2 telling about the HP-MAN. In the previous videos we have explained the full form of HP-MAN. Okay, HP-MAN means high speed diesel, petrol, crude petroleum and motor spirit, aviation turbine fuel and natural gas. And GST on the HP-MAN shall be levied with effect from the date notified by the government on the recommendation of the council. Still now it is not taxable under the GST. These 5 products are not taxable under the GST. It will be taxable in the future on the date specified by notification of the government and the recommendation of the council. That is the section 9 subsection 2. And we are going towards the section 9 subsection 3. It is most important area we need to remember for exam point of view. RCM on notified services. Generally RCM will be applicable both on supply of goods and on supply of services, but in our CFIL syllabus supply of goods is not there and only supply of services portion is applicable for CFIL examinations. Hence we will discuss only with regard to the supply of services. And the mnemonic for remembering the RCM on notified services is diagrams, and it will be explained in the further list. Okay, directorship services to the company or direct selling agent services to the company. Okay, first of all we discuss about the director services to company or body corporator. And here independent director, we can take an example. If we take the example of the independent director, he is not an employee as per the company's rules. Hence the GST will be levied, and the independent person is not able to pay the GST. It should be paid by the company or a body corporate on a RCM basis. Next, whole-time director. Generally, whole-time directors in a company or in the employment of the company. Hence, no GST will be attracted, and there is no requirement of GST on RCM basis. But if whole-time director is not appointed as an employee, in that case, that will be taxable under the RCM. Hope you will understand this thing. Independent director, he is not an employee. Hence, the GST on the directorship services will be chargeable on the RCM basis and paid by the corporate or a body corporate or a company. And in the case of the whole-time director, there may be two possibilities. One, if the whole-time director is in the employment, then it will be not taxable under the GST. If he is not in the employment, it will be taxable under the GST, and that GST should be paid by the company or a body corporate on RCM basis. That you need to remember in this point, first point. Okay. Next, insurance agent. Whenever insurance agent provides services to the insurance company, that insurance company will pay the GST on a RCM basis. Okay. When the insurance company is in the taxable territory, that's the main key point. Okay. Next one, recovery agent. Recovery agent means agent collects the money from the borrower instead of will service to the bank or NBFC or a financial institution. If that agent provides services to the bank, that the recovery agent provides services to the bank or financial institution or a NBFC, then that NBFC, the bank or the financial institution needs to be paid GST on RCM basis. Okay. The next one is music composer. We can take an example. Music composer to music company is also taxable on RCM basis. Okay. Next thing, not only the music composer, if a photographer, artist or like other person providing services to the producer or like other person is taxable under the RCM basis. Services by way of transferring or permitting the use or enjoyment of the copyright is also covered under the RCM. Okay. Next one in the same part is author and agent of business correspondent. Author, as we discussed earlier, author, unregistered or registered person. First, if author is unregistered person, that service recipient of publisher will needs to pay the GST or RCM basis. If even though he is a registered person and not exercising the option of FCM, means the author who is a registered person but not opted FCM. Author who is a registered person but not opted FCM. FCM is forward charge mechanism. In that case also, the recipient, that is a publisher, needs to be pay the GST on RCM basis. Next, agent of business correspondent. Generally, agent of business correspondent will provide the services to the business correspondent. Exempt services by business facilitator or business correspondent and intermediary with respect to the accounts in rural area branch. Generally, the services given by the agent of business correspondent to the business correspondent is taxable under the GST or RCM basis by the business correspondent. But it will be exempted if that agent of business correspondent providing the services to the business correspondent relating to the accounts in rural areas branch. Rural area branch, in that case, that will be exempted. It is an important point you need to remember. Next, member of overseeing committee. Overseeing committee provides the services to the RBI. In that case also, RBI needs to pay the GST on RCM basis. Next one, security services. Security services include supply of security personnel. To the registered person who is in the taxable territory needs to be paid GST on a RCM basis. That means whoever the receiving the security services needs to pay the GST on a RCM basis. Next, this is not applicable as per the circular. Security services is not applicable. This is another one. We are discussing about the security services, right? Security services is not applicable if central government or state government or local authority or a government agency registered as a TDS director and composition dealer under the FCM basis for forward charge mechanism. What is meant by this? Say, security services generally taxable by the recipient who is in the taxable territory and who is also a registered person needs to be paid the GST on the RCM basis. This is a basic idea. But it is not applicable in the case of the providing of services by the central government or state government or local authority or a government agency who is registered as a TDS director. Then in that case the GST on RCM basis is not applicable. Means there is no requirement to pay the GST under the RCM basis. And also composition dealer who pays 1 minute. In security services, the registered person have the right to opt for the 5% GST on a FCM basis, means forward charge mechanism. In that case also, there is no requirement to pay the GST on RCM by the service recipient. That is also one important point. Okay. Next one, service of lending of securities. Actually, who are the market participants in the stock markets, then due to some important news, they think that the market price of a particular stock will be go down drastically in the coming days, but they don't have the physical shares in their demat account. In that case, there is a option available in the stock market, that is a lending of securities. Lending of securities means the person who is having the shares of a particular company and lends the shares to the another person who doesn't have it for the sake of a small revenue like a rental income. Okay, hope you understand. Actually, you can take an example. You are one of the party and I am under side of the party. Okay, you think that we can say the example of ITC. It's clear and it will be knowing to the all the participants. And you think that due to some bad results or due to some news, you thought that the market price of the ITC will go down to some percentage. Let's say the example. Say we have taken the ITC example and the present market price of current market price of the ITC is trading around 450 rupees, and you thought that in coming 1 week or in coming one month the value of the ITC will goes down to 400 rupees. Okay, you have the information, you have the confidence, but you don't have the shares to sell. Okay, then there is a lending of security scheme is there in the stock market where you approach me for who is having ITC shares in my demat account and asked for the lending purpose, and I am lending the shares to you for a contract period of say 1 month. Okay, I will explain it again. Please try to understand. You are one of the party, I am the other side of the party. I am having the ITC shares and you don't have the ITC shares, but you have the information that within a 1 month the price of the ITC will go down to 400, where it is presently trading around 450 rupees. In that case, you thought that in order to capture and in order to benefit from the information and in order to have the earn the money, you approached me saying that please give me your shares on a lending basis and I will provide you per se per share 5 rupees I will be given to you as a rental for taking a for taking a shares from you for a period of 1 month. Okay, you taken the shares and sold it to the market, and as you said, the market has gone down to the 400 on the end of the month, and you repurchased it and given back to me as a repayment of lending shares. Okay, in this case, whatever the 5 rupees I am earning, instead of selling in the market, I am earning from you as a rental. That will be chargeable on the reverse charge basis, RCM, that is services of lending of securities. I am lending securities to you, hence you needs to pay the GST on RCM basis. That is the main focus here. Hope you understand. In case you still not understand, please comment below. I will be happy to explain again. Okay. Next thing, it is having one circular. It is saying that always the services of lending of securities will treat as a supply of service and always treat it as a interstate supply, so that IGST will be liable to IGST. Okay. Next, renting of motor vehicle. Renting of motor vehicle. Where fuel cost is included in the consideration charged. Invoice charging GST at 12%. In both the cases, the RCM will be not taxable, otherwise it will be taxable. Okay, on the RCM basis. Next, business facilitator services. Business facilitator services to the banking company. Business facilitator services to the banking company will be liable to GST under the RCM by recipient, that is banking company. Next, advocate or firm or senior to the business entity who is in the taxable territory, and annual turnover in a previous financial year of the business entity exceeds the registration limit. In that case, it will be chargeable under the RCM basis. Next, arbitral tribunal. Arbitral tribunal provides services to the business entity who is in the taxable territory and whose annual turnover exceeds the registration limit prescribed under the GST Act. Okay. Next, sponsorship services. Sponsorship services to the business entity or partnership firm or LLP who is in the taxable territory will be liable to GST under the RCM basis. And 13. Central government, a state government or union territory or local authority, excluding the paint. Paint means port, airport, and movable and transportation services. This excludes and whatever the services received from the central government or state government, local authority, excluding the paint, that is port, airline, port, airport, and immovable and transportation. Immovable and transportation. I will discuss it. It's better to remember in the same. Port services and airport services and immovable property services and transportation services. Excluding these 4 services, whatever the services received from the central government, state government, or local authority will be taxable. Even it is including the services, whatever it may be, it will be taxable under the RCM under the reverse charge basis by the recipient. Okay. Next, 14 point. Renting of residential dwelling to the registered person. Even though the renting is for the purpose of residential dwelling, but it is supplying to the registered person, that will be taxable under the RCM by the recipient person, registered person. Next, transfer of development rights or FSI. 1 minute. transfer of development rights or floor space index to the promoter. Transfer of development rights and floor space index to the promoter of real estate business will be taxable under the RCM. And LLL means long-term lease of land. Long-term lease of land. What is meant by long-term? 30 years or more to the promoter of the real estate business, that will be taxable under the RCM. Hope this will helpful to you all. And next we are going to section 9 subsection 4, where the supply is from the unregistered person to the registered person. In that case, the GST will be taxable on RCM basis by the registered person. What are the cases? Specified category of goods or services means it will be specified the goods or services for the purpose, whatever the supply between the unregistered person to the registered person. The registered person needs to be liable for the GST on the RCM basis. That needs to be understood. And as we earlier discussed, supply of goods is not covered under the CF and the syllabus. And notified supply of goods is not covered, and that's why only the input or input services, the services which are there, we will discuss later. Okay, input or input services to the promoter. Generally, the promoter of the real estate business will able to take a ITC on the inputs or input services it is taking from the public, whatever the sources. But if it shortfalls the 80% or less than the 80% of the output services, then it will be liable to pay the GST on the shortfall on RCM basis. Let's say we can say like this: your output service is 100, okay, and you are taking inputs and input services say 70 rupees. Actually, as per the provision of the provisions relevant to the promoter of the real estate business, that should not equals to or more than, that should be equals to or more than 80%. What is the shortfall? That is 10 rupees, and the 10 rupees relevant services and the goods will be liable to GST under the RCM basis. That means this 10 rupees needs to be taxed on RCM basis. Okay, hope we will understand. And next thing is cement bags provided by the unregistered person to the promoter of the real estate business. In that case, the promoter of the real estate business needs to be paid on a RCM basis. GST, okay? GST on that cement bags. Next, capital, in the case of the capital goods also, if capital goods is serviced by the unregistered person to the registered person who is the promoter of the real estate business, then he needs to pay the GST on RCM to the government. Okay, that's all about the section 9 subsection 4. And the last but not the least, the section 9 subsection 5 regarding e-commerce operator. E-commerce operator needs to be paid the GST if that is a notified category of services, that is intrastate supply, then tax payable by the e-commerce operator plus all provisions applicable to the e-commerce operator as if he is the supplier liable for the payment of tax. Okay, government has specified the some of the services to be GST on some of the services to be paid, needs to be paid by the this e-commerce operator. What are those services we are going to discuss now? One is transportation of passengers. In case of the transportation of passengers, wherever the e-commerce operator involved, the e-commerce operator is liable to pay the GST. That is discussed in this area. And next thing, accommodation services. Wherever the accommodation services are provided, okay, the involvement of e-commerce operator is there, then e-commerce operator is liable to pay the GST on the services provided. And here the government has put an responsibility on the e-commerce operator to collect and pay the GST. Next, housekeeping services. In housekeeping services also, like we can take the example of carpenting and plumbing, and we can carpenting and plumbing services, and we can say the e-commerce operator example is Urban Clamp. Okay, Urban Clamp will be the example for the housekeeping services providing the e-commerce operator. Okay, next, restaurant services. Restaurant services accept the services by restaurant in a specified location or a premises. What is meant by specified premises? Hotel accommodation where the service tariff is more than 7,500 rupees per unit per day. In that case, the e-commerce operator is not liable. The specific restaurant will be liable to pay the GST. Only the simple exemption is there. Next, we can take the examples of each of the one. For transportation of services, you can take the example of Ola and Uber. And in case of the accommodation services, you can take the example of Oyo and Goibibs. Okay, Goibibo. Okay, next, for housekeeping services, as we earlier discussed, the Urban Clamp. And next, in the case of the restaurant services, you can take the example of Swiggy and Zomato. Okay, and there is one provision is there. It's saying that e-commerce operator has physical presence. If yes, then e-commerce operator is liable. If not there, the person representative is liable. Even if representative is not there, the e-commerce operator needs to appoint the representative, and then he will be liable for GST. And for remembering the section 9 subsection 5 e-commerce operator services which are needs to be paid by the e-commerce operator, the GST of the services needs to be paid by the e-commerce operator. For remembering sake, there is a mnemonic is there, that is Thar. Mahindra Thar is there now. Like that. T means transportation services, H means housekeeping services, A means accommodation services, R means restaurant services. Hope this video is helpful, and we have completed the discussion about the section 9 of the CGST Act, and some of the changes is there, the same provisions are there in the section 5 of the IGST Act too, but some differences are there that we need to discuss today. Now, here as per the section 9.1, here on intrastate supplies is there. As per the section 5 subsection 1 of the IGST Act, it replaces with the interstate supply. And next thing, provision. IGST on importation of goods shall be leviable and collected as per Custom Tariff Act. IGST will be levied on importation of the goods shall be leviable and collected as per the Customs Tariff Act, and on the value to determine under the Customs Act. Generally, here what is we are thinking that on value determined under section 15, but in the case of the IGST Act, section 5, subsection 1, saying that one provision is there, it is saying about GST on importation of the goods shall be levied and collected as per Custom Tariffs Act, and the value as determined under the Customs Act. Okay, next, at the point when custom duties are leviable. At the point when custom duties are leviable. Next, section 5 subsection 2, IGST on interstate supplies of HP-MAN. Here section 9 subsection 2 telling about the HP-MAN on interstate supplies, whereas section 5 subsection 2 of the IGST Act will saying about the this IGST on the interstate supplies. Additional services notified. Section 5 subsection 3, some of the additional services are notified under the IGST. That means any services to any person in the taxable territory other than NTOR. NTOR means non-taxable online recipient. Okay. And transportation of goods to importer in the taxable territory by vessel from outside India up to the custom frontiers in India. Next, section 5 subsection 4 and section 5 subsection 5 what are the available provisions are there under the 9 subsection 4 and 9 subsection 5 will be the same in the case of the section 5 subsection 4 and section 5 subsection 5 of the IGST Act. And we concluded the charge of GST today. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos, please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and please share with your friends and whoever are struggling to clear the CA final. Hope this time we will crack it. Thanks for watching. Bye.